Hello everyone, I'd like to take this opportunity to demonstrate the four modes thinking uh, applied to a small problem, a small goal that I have personally. It'll give you an example of the kind of thing we're looking for in the complete assignment to pick up a problem of your own, a small problem that you can work on in 2 to 3 weeks. And apply the four modes approach. And I'm doing that in this rather unusual setting with the window behind me because I like to improvise a whiteboard wherever I can in order to do this kind of four modes thinking, put it into practice, and just use four quadrants of the paper as a way to put the four modes out in front and make it visible so that I can see it. So I'll demonstrate that for you now. The problem I'm going to work on is the problem of my weight. And when I think about what I'm trying to do, my current situation as of the 15th of October is tipped the scales at 255 pounds, 255 pounds there. And the goal would be to lose 20 pounds by December 15th. That's 10 pounds a month. So the goal will be 235. That's the goal. That's what I'm trying to do. Another way of saying it is to just state the gap. I want to lose 20 pounds by December 15th this year. So that becomes kind of the first quadrant, the what, if you will, of this four modes thinking. And you can see that I've tried to make it as clear as I can. Sometimes we do a chart if it's for a business metric or something like that, a picture. But in this case, it's really just to go from 255 to 235. We want to go down 20 pounds by December 15th and have a leaner Larry, if you will. So then this is the what or what gap I'm trying to address. So now I want to get into why that gap is there. Or another way to think about it when we're talking about problems is to get at the causes. What are the causes of this excessive weight in this case, or the causes that are getting in the way of perhaps losing or maintaining down to that weight? And so one of the things that's useful is to reflect on the past. Have I lost weight before? Have I been successful losing weight in any way? Have I been unsuccessful at losing weight anyway? What have I tried to do in the past, or is this the first time? And it's not the first time. And so things that I've done in the past have really been two-pronged. Body weight is kind of a simple equation in a way. The amount of calories you take in versus the amount of calories you expend. So eating and exercise are the typical things we think about. So when I think about eating, one of the things that's worked in the past for me is the Weight Watchers system. If you're familiar with the Weight Watcher system, every food and portion and so forth has a point value, and based on your weight and what you're trying to do, losing weight, you set a target number of points to consume every day. And if you eat that level of points and not more, then you lose weight gradually on the Weight Watchers system. And in fact, I've done that in the past successfully to lose weight. However, there have been some reasons why I couldn't keep the weight off or didn't keep the weight off and put it back on. So I'll need to address that underlying cause if this is going to be successful again. Otherwise, I just do what I did before, lose the weight, and then do what I did before and gain it back. So one of the reflections is that even when I'm on the Weight Watchers, I sometimes eat in the evening. Have a lot of little snacks and things, and eating later, just before going to bed, tends to cause more weight gain than if I eat even the same amount, but if I eat it during the day when I'm active and burn those calories off. So that seems to be a pattern that I'll need to address. Then on the exercise side of things, I'm good at exercising, but it's hard to be consistent. So what's worked for me is to go for walks during the day. I go for walks during the day, and then that's great, but I really don't like to go out walking in the rain and cold, the ice, and so forth. And we're going into winter here in Oregon, so I know my walking is not going to be very consistent. So I need some kind of indoor exercise, different than walking around. So whether something indoors and some way of being more consistent are all things that I'm going to have to overcome. They're some of the causes, and so maybe I've gone far enough here. Maybe not. We'll see. But this is kind of the extent of my thinking at this point, and so I like to make notes of a new direction. So just in thinking about these causes, this is what I'm trying to do. I think about these causes, and then I sort of say, so to deal with those causes, I need to re-engage with Weight Watchers tracking, and I need to come up with some way to do inside exercise, so that I don't just say, well, it's nasty outside, so I won't go out and walk today. So that's kind of the why section, or the cause analysis, if you will. So then it's time for how. I need to make a plan. How am I going to go about this new direction? Well, I need to get some kind of exercise machine that I can use indoors. So purchase exercise machine, and I need to set a date, so I'll do that by the next day, 10/16, and all these actions are going to be mine, but if there was multiple people involved, I would need to put the person's name there. Who will do what by when? So I'm also going to need to start re-engage, really, the Weight Watcher tracking. And again, in order to do some of these steps, I might need to do some sub-steps. I might need to do some research on exercise machines and so forth, price them, evaluate durability, see if it's things I like, that sort of thing. To start Weight Watcher tracking, I may need to join Weight Watchers. I might need to get the app for my phone, those kinds of things. So there might be some sub-steps here that I would need to flesh out. And then I need to begin a daily exercise routine. And I'll start that. I'll start both of these 10/16. So that's pretty good. And now I need to just think about how I will follow up. When will I check in to see how I'm doing? What kind of things should I be checking? How will I check those? So we call this the check adjust, or the follow-up, if you will. And at this stage, I'm not doing anything really yet, and so the follow-up is really more of a plan. As I go along, the follow-up would include the tracking. So again, I want to maybe just keep track of the status of this plan. Every day, do a review. So I'll want to review plan progress, and I'll do that daily. And I can just report that up here. And then secondly, I probably need to track my, as I track my Weight Watcher points. I need to keep a journal on that, so I'll have the Weight Watcher points journal, and that's a daily activity. I need to exercise, and so I need to keep probably a chart. So have an exercise chart to track whether I'm actually exercising every day to keep myself accountable. And then it always makes sense to look back up here at what I'm trying to do. I'm actually trying to lose weight. So I should have a weight chart daily. So every one of these lines down here would be the dates. This is the 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and so on across there. And this is my weight. Got to step on the scales. So right now it's at 255 here. And what I need to track every day is, hopefully you see that number going down to the target of 235. But whatever happens, if it goes up or if it goes down and comes up, goes down and comes up, this will be very useful information as I review as the 2-month period goes along my progress and ask, are my ideas working? So what you see here is what I'm trying to do, clear goal. You see some analysis. It might be good analysis. It may be lightweight. You may actually be thinking he didn't go far enough here. If you are, I'm very happy. Because probably there's some more factors below this besides just these things. Why do I eat in the evening? I could ask 5 whys. You might look that up as a technique. I could ask 5 whys about that. Why am I eating in the evening? Why am I inconsistent in my exercise? Is it just the weather? Is it just the lack of a machine to do it? But as I go along, if I'm charting how I'm doing, this is my hypothesis. This is what I'm trying to do. This is why I haven't done it yet. This is what I'm going to have to overcome to do it. This is the plan I believe will get me there. As I go along, I'll prove whether my theory is correct or not. And if it's not correct, then I simply circle back and say, maybe I didn't understand the why causes enough. Quite likely. I might have missed some things in my plan. I may need to do some different things in my plan. Maybe some of those things really don't have the effect that I want. So I need to look for another idea. How else could I approach it? And keep tracking and keep going around that circle until I've reached the goal. And then it's time to set a new goal. This 235 by 1215 is a great goal, but it's probably, according to body mass index, health, and so forth, I should be under 200 pounds. And so I'd have another 35 pounds to go. But for right now, I'm just trying to get going on this. If I can get this 20 pounds off, that's 20 pounds to the good. So that's my goal for now. Keep working this process. As I make progress, I discover the keys that are going to take me even further in the future. I hope you'll enjoy doing this for something in your life, some problem that you're trying to do. Make it something worthwhile.